All right, so today I told myself I was going to film a video, and honestly, I do not have a specific topic, but just have a handful of records that we can chop up together, and also just kind of go through on this whole stem separation. It's not out on standalone yet. It's still, you have to use it in controller mode with the DAW. But I actually have some records right here that I picked up, and want to put this in right here, get it into the MPC, and do some stem separation. If you are waiting for stems to be launched in standalone and you have not messed with it yet, become a member to my channel. I will be chopping this up, separating the stems, and when I release these chops for you, you can download them onto your MPC in standalone, and you can listen to the layers of stems. So you could already kind of get familiar with stem separation if you are curious on how good it sounds. So let's just hang out, and as I'm chopping up some of these records, I'll be giving you my overall thoughts and some of my experiences, the good and the bad. Now, a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll get right into it. So if you're not aware of DistroKid, it is the easiest way to distribute your music, upload a song, and you can have it released in all different streaming platforms. But let me show you some of the really cool extra add-ons that you can add when you launch your song. YouTube Content ID, and this right here will notify you every time somebody is using one of your tracks and using it for their videos. Also, ad revenue will automatically go to you. And also, these are all some other ones that is really cool. The store maximizer. I've had this engaged, and what this will do is this will release your track to all these streaming platforms, which is all the major ones right here. But every other month, there's always something new that comes out. This right here, store maximizer, will automatically throw that song into any additional streaming platforms. Now, I'm telling you, DistroKid is the easiest way to distribute your music. I have no idea why you're not using it if you're not putting out your tracks. Right now, if you sign up with my link down in the description of this video, you get 7% off your first year. I heard a little bit of this and it sounds like it has potential, but there's not a lot of space for me to play with, but we'll see if we can create some space with the stem separation. Okay, so this actually sounds really good. I'm going to save this right here. Now, one thing that I notice is when you are using stem separation, I have good experiences when I'm sampling off of vinyl, and I have a good mix. There's some records that are mixed different. Just because it's from vinyl does not mean that it's the best quality all the time. There's some vinyl records that do not sound good. They just sound way too compressed, or it's too old. There's too much noise in the background, and it does take a hit when I'm separating these stems. Most of the records that I get, luckily and thankfully, I get good sounding records that the mix is great, and the quality of the vinyl that I'm picking up from also sounds great. So when I have that combination, I know it's going to do a good job. But if I'm on YouTube now, I don't have nothing against from people sampling from YouTube, but I noticed that when it's overly compressed with the YouTube compression, it does really bad. I try to separate it, and I've done it before, and it's more of a miss versus a hit for me. So right here, this already sounds good. Like, I like how it sounds. I don't know how it's going to do with the drums, but let's hear it and let's see what we come up with. Now, when I do my separation, I like to just select my trim, my loop. What am I going to work with? And then I'll go ahead and process that. I'm gonna go ahead and truncate this, go to process, and I'm gonna scroll all the way through until I do my stem separation right here. I'm gonna put it in program 001, A1, hit do it. All right, now I'm in the program editor from that sample that we just separated, and we have all the stems right here. Take off vocals. Sounds great. Let's take off the drums. That's good. Bring back the vocals. Oh, okay. So look, this sounds really good. This is something I'm going to use. Again, I run some records through it. There's some that just sounds really bad. It's not always going to work, but I'm telling you, most of the records that I get do sound very decent. Now, I notice I can keep the vocals or I can take off the vocals. This sounds good either or. With vocals, it sounds great. Take off vocals. Let's hear just the drums. With drums or percussive instruments, I don't know. It just doesn't do as good when I do stem separation. The drums is probably where it lacks the most. I did a video just recently. Make sure you check it out. And I show how I go about just bringing those drum breaks back to life when we're dealing with stem separation. That's good. Now I'm going to go to main and I'm going to this program 001, hit the little pencil icon, and I'm going to flatten the pad. What flatten pad will do is it will get this pad that I selected, pad 1, hit flatten pad, and it's going to, you know, since I have different layers, if I had plugins installed, if I had different mixes with layers with the stem separation, it grabs that whole entire pad, any processing that's being done within that pad, and it just consolidates it into its own audio file that will be in your sample pool library. Now, when I go to my sample editor, I'll see it right here. Now, this is my flattened pad with stem separation engraved within this pad. Now I go from trim into chop, and I start manually chopping this up just the way I would. So now we have it right here. This is actually going to sound really good once we hit play with some drums on top of this. Oh, okay, yeah, so yeah, that actually sounds really good. Now I'm able to do whatever I want once I'm right here. So at this point, once you have those stems out, I mean, you are really just creating something that works for you. You're really tailoring the sound as something that you want to speed it up, slow it down, take off drums, take off vocals. I mean, there's another part right here in this record that I actually want to get into. Let's go right here and let's sample a little bit more. Now listen to this. Just a little loving. In my head, I'm already separating his vocals and the drums. I'm taking off the vocals and the drums, and I'm just listening to the melody of the keys. Just a little loving. Now I'm thinking in my head, all right, if I can take off those the vocals and the drums, that melody is so cool, is something that I can really use. So I'm gonna go right here to process, and it should work just as good as the beginning of the song. I mean, it's the same record that we're doing stem separation. So just all right, not too bad. I'm actually gonna flatten this pad. Let's go ahead and convert this, and let's see if we have it. Okay, yeah, we got it right here. All right, so now we have this right here. Ooh. Oh, dang, okay, that's cool. That is so cool. Let's hear that again. Oh. Listen, okay, it's so cool how, look, before I started filming this video, I'm not gonna lie, I was really tired, very just tired mentally, a lot going on. But as soon as I hit record and I started chopping this up, I'm seriously in the moment right now, and just getting this melody right here. I forgot about the first section that we just chopped up, but just look, there's 8 pads, 8 slices. That is it, and I'm coming up with so many different variations with 8 chops. Took off drums, took off vocals. I'm tailoring down the sound to something that works for me, my style, the way I like to hear, or the way I envision it in my head. Before we even sample this, I was already hearing the melody of the piano, and I was like, man, that would be so cool if I can take off the vocals and the drums. And guess what? We did that. It sounds really cool. There is a little bit of artifacting, but with the drums on top, and once we add bass, you won't be able to tell that. Right here, we can start off with this intro. Also, if you see me moving around fast right here, I do have a course with the MPC 1 Plus, soon the MPC Live as well. I go from start to finish on beat production and just chopping up samples and sequencing your very first beat. So if you're a bit confused or is like, man, I don't know how to get around the MPC, check out the course. I'll leave a link down in the description, and go ahead and hang out with me as we take our time, going very slow, explaining the MPC workflow. Let's listen to another record right here and see what we have. Let's go to edit. Let's chop this down. Now I'm gonna move really fast. Let's go to stem separation and see what we can do with this one right here. Oh yeah, and on a side note, I've been getting some some people really aggressive in the comments section on one of my latest videos. All I did was just show the SP1200 in the background. I did not think people were this really curious on the SP1200. So a lot of people were just asking what's going on with the SP1200. So I will make a video on this. I've been really busy lately, and I'm barely trying to catch up and upload a video of the MPC with you guys. So hopefully this upcoming week I can just hang out with you guys, make a beat on the SP1200. Everything strictly on the SP1200. So we'll move the MPC, everything out the way, just the SP1200 with the record player right next to it, and see what we come up with. So stay tuned. If you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Yes. Woo. And also on a side note, I got the SP1200 right next to me. I'm going to mention it real quick. This thing has this crazy sound. Like, I don't know. Again, we'll do a video on this later. But getting a drum break that sounds like this, a lot of artifacting, is nearly unusable. Sampling that with its artifacting into the SP1200 and pitching it down, it creates its own texture that it will technically eliminate that weird artifacting. It just sounds like an SP1200. It's crazy. Oh, again, we'll do that later, but let's go on with the video. Again, do not forget to download these programs. I will leave them for you guys. Anybody that's subscribed or is a channel member, go ahead and chop this up, get this into your MPC. Listen, I have a lot of fun doing this, and I'm very grateful for you to take the time to hang out with me in some of these records. We only got through one of these, and I honestly didn't even flip it to the B side, so I'm sure there's probably some. Here's the last thing I'll say is, when I know the stem separation works with this specific project right here, again, the way it's mixed, the way it sounds, I know if I'm not going to sample each record from this project, but it's all going to sound good when I do stem separation. No matter what song I hear, if I need to do stem separation, I know is going to work. So this is what we had for today's session. Look, these are the two of the records that I want to chop up next. Very different. This is not my style. So this is like some weird jazz. I don't even know. It's like acid trip type of jazz. Again, this is also jazz. This is so hard for me. I don't know how to chop up jazz. But we're going to try it on the next video, see what we come up with, hopefully. And if I don't do this on the next video, that means that I probably just couldn't come up with anything. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll catch you on our next video. Peace.